Hi, I'm Joel Mitchell of Prisms Resources. You know, it's almost a daily occurrence that I run into a vendor out there in the field that'll state something like this. You know, Joel, I'd love to take credit cards, but I don't get enough demand for it. The one or two times that a customer might ask me about it, I'm usually able to work out something else and get a check from them, or they'll come back with cash. And I say, you know, I can understand their frustration. Taking credit cards, signing up for them, you got annual contracts, you got equipment, you might have some infrastructure costs, like bringing in a $40 a month phone line, that type of thing. And so I can understand why a vendor that doesn't get a lot of demand for credit cards might think that. Um, but having said all that, I've always been a firm believer in make it easy for me to do business with you, and I will. And what I mean by that, if you put up any kind of roadblocks to the transaction or the possible transaction of a business deal, you're opening yourself to the door of losing that deal. And in many cases, you might not know that you've lost that business. Customer knows you don't take credit cards. They drive right on to the guy next door that will take credit cards. And you never know you lost it because he just drove right by. Um, and so if I firmly believe that, I wanted to come up with a product that would give customers that really only need to take credit cards on a part-time basis the ability to do that. And so we did some research and we came up with two products. One was called SquareUp, and the other product was called PhoneSwipe. And both products are very, very similar as far as their pricing and their models, it looks like, um, where they both have no annual contract, which is kind of a cool thing, so that you can try it out. But if you don't like it, you don't use it, you don't pay. They're both pay as you go. So you're only charged when you use the product. There's no monthly service fees or statements or anything like that associated with it. And they both have what they call pretty decent rates for this kind of service, considering it's only a part-time service and there's no commitments for volume or anything like that. Where SquareUp was 2.7, and so that means, you know, as a roofing contractor, if he wants to pull out his smartphone, because that's a smartphone-based app, they whip on the little device that goes on the top, and they both are very similar in that regard. He could pull his smartphone out, charge it up, and there'll be a 2.7 fee associated with that re-roof. Okay, so he could take a credit card for that. Or if it was, matter of fact, PhoneSwipe would charge even less. You pull a smartphone out for that, and it would be 2.68. So you're going to get a little bit cheaper rate for, but both are competitive, nonetheless. And so, you know, in looking at this thing, we said, hey, this is all great. I had Wendy, my assistant, do one more thing though. Since both are very similar, we got to find some way to tip the scales one way, other than PhoneSwipe being a little bit cheaper, of a 2.68 as opposed to a 2.7. So she did some research, and we started looking for customer complaints. And with PhoneSwipe, she's still looking. But with SquareUp, there's an issue with customer service. And matter of fact, I had her print off some of these complaints, and she's still looking. If she finds some for PhoneSwipe, she'll print them out also. And so with that, I want to read a couple of them so that you have an idea of what some people are experiencing out there in the world when they're utilizing this product. This first one is a business owner that signed up for SquareUp at the beginning of August. And she states here that she runs a smoke shop. Some kind of tobacco place, I'd imagine, or something. I'm not sure. She says, you know, I signed up at the beginning of August, and for the first week, all the transactions were deposited into my account the very next day. I was very pleased with the service and real happy that I had decided to use SquareUp. Unfortunately, things soon changed, and she states here that on August 23rd, her nightmare began. She took a look at her bank balance and had noticed that SquareUp had not made a single deposit in over a week, and states that she was now $8,300 behind in her deposits that were owed to her by SquareUp. States that she got no emails about this, no transactions. She emailed them, tried to find out what was going on, was not getting any response as of this writing that she had here, and no response via phone. Very frustrated, states, hey, she's got payroll payments coming up. She got rent that's due. She really doesn't know how a business could tie up her cash this way. And quite honestly, I tend to agree with her. I think that is nonsense. Um, Business owners need to be contacted. Um, there could be a very legitimate reason for this, but without any two-way conversation going on, all you're going to do is get a business owner that doesn't know what's going on, and they're only going to assume the worst. So let's take a look and see if we've got anything in the inbox for phone swipe. No, not yet. Got one for Square Up though. Let's take a look. This one here is from Robin, and Robin is in medical services. That's all we know anyways. And she says, I'm starting to rethink using Square. I recently ran a customer's bill through 3 times, and all 3 times it stated that it was declined. We then made arrangements to have another form of payment, and that customer went on their merry way. A couple of days later, she called me and stated that $750 had been withdrawn from her account, which explains the 3 swipes, but they had showed on my end that they were declined. I have now been trying to get a hold of Square for the last several days and have to no avail. I need to get this resolved. This customer needs their money. Very, very frustrated. And I can understand. Again, with no ability to get in, talk to her, you're going to have issues like this. Not good. Let's take a look and see what we got for phone swipe. Nothing yet. We do have another one for Square though. Oh, this one's from Bob. And Bob doesn't get into a lot about what his issues are, but the fact that he does a lot of transactions via email and via the phone, and he's starting to rethink that the service. He had an issue. He tried to call him, couldn't get him on the phone. Just generally frustrated, and that's about all he states. He does ramble on a few other things, but I'm not going to get into those things. But it's just another customer that is just unhappy. That's unfortunate. We don't have any more here yet for a phone swipe, but I got another one here for Square. And this is from Devin. He's a small business guy. Devin says, I signed up for Square. Within 2 days, the device came in from my smartphone. I was very, very excited. And that's when the air got let out of my balloon. I had forgotten my password, and so when the app loaded, it asked me for a password, and there was a button that says forgot password, and I clicked on it, and it stated that it was emailing it to me. And to this day, I still can't use the product because I never got those emails. And I'm like, wow. And again, with no phone numbers to contact Square, or no easy way to talk to their customer service, this issue can't be resolved. And so here we got a customer that's excited about using the product, but can't. So, you got any here for a phone swipe? No, not yet. Hey, Wendy, let me know. I'm almost done here. If one comes in for phone swipe. I got one here, though, for Square, and this is a good one. This is from a small business owner in San Francisco. And he says, let me explain how I resolved an issue with Square. He goes, Square was holding $4,500 of a $6,500 transaction. And I emailed them every form of documentation that they required to prove that the transaction was verified. Sounds like he did get a hold of somebody, and they came back to him and they says, we got the documents, but we're still going to need to hold your funds for 30 days. The guy didn't take that very lightly. And here's what he did. He goes, the next day I proceeded to post on their Twitter and Facebook page every 15 minutes that I considered them a fraudulent company for doing this to my business. I also filed a report with the FBI's White Collar Division in San Francisco and filed an additional report with the FTC. Because And there's good news here. To my amazement, the very next day, I got a call from a Square supervisor stating that my funds would be deposited in my account the very next day. They also raised my limit. Must have been the reason why he was being held the money. Um, you know, it's unfortunate that a business owner has to go to that length to get customer service. But that's not a business that I want to go with. So now you know what we went through when we were evaluating a couple of companies in order to bring on a good product for our customers, whether it would be Square or PhoneSwipe. We ultimately, as you probably obvious from what we found, decided to use PhoneSwipe. First and foremost, they got 24/7 phone support. They offer a very good product, and they pride themselves in taking care of their customers just like we do. Our customers, if they got an issue, they know how to get a hold of us, and we are not going to hide. Um, and the good news here is we have no reason to hide, so there's nothing to hide from. So if you're interested in accepting credit cards and you want to try it out without no obligation, go ahead. There's a button, looks just like this, right below here. Go ahead and click on that, and that'll take you access to a form that you fill out. It's a one-page form. Fill it out, hit send, and within a couple of days, your magic device will come for your smartphone, and you'll be on your way. If you got any issues installing or doing anything, we'll also get a phone number to you right away so you can call us, and we'll talk you through it and make sure you're satisfied. With that, that's the end of this product review, and have a blessed day.